Good morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of the day it is for you. Um, oh, I don't even know where to start. I talked a while back about a story that I was reading when I first started this channel, um, called The Twins' New Life or something along those lines. Um, and now I can't find it. Anyway, it's about two twins. They were twins in their past life and they're twins again in this life. And their father is the emperor. They have three older brothers, the crown prince, and so on. Um, I believe it's called The Twins' New Life. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, I've been yeah, I want to read that one again. Sorry, a whole bunch of new ones just popped up. There's still some that I am trying to find that I really want to read, but I haven't been able to find them just yet. So this is one about the twins. They were beaten and abused for 5 years before their mother died, and then their father brings them back to the palace or brings them into the palace. There are a lot of things in this story in particular that irritate the living crap out of me. Um, when the twins get upset, um, as long as the twins can see each other, they can talk mentally to each other telepathically. Um, and they tend to do this a lot because they can't open up to people. Although the more you read it, the more you see it kind of lessening. The twins don't trust the emperor or anybody else in the palace. That's just what they've learned. They're illegitimate children, and the nobles don't like them, and all sorts of other stuff. Now, the thing that gets me is every time the twins get upset or pissed off, instead of saying anything, defending themselves, or, oh, we didn't want this damn life, you brought us here, this is not what we wanted, type deal, they sit there and they take it. And then they're sitting there pissed off, clenching their fists, and it looks like they're about to hit somebody, beat the crap out of somebody. And then 2 seconds later, something happens, like a little shock to them. Someone bursts in the door, or a noise comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden their anger is just gone. I'm sorry, when I'm angry, I'm angry. There is no shock, death, or anything of the sort that'll stop me from being angry. I will be angry. The twins were like, I believe 18 or 19 when they died. So mentally, they're pretty much developed, but they never defend themselves. not against the nobles or the emperor or their brothers. Occasionally, they'll ask questions like, "Did you know about us?" The second prince was the only one that was honest. And he was like, "I knew about your existence, I just wasn't interested." He was also the first one to find out that the twins were still alive. Um, they believed that the twins were dead. Either way, still, the emperor and the princes, instead of being honest with the children, just keep withholding the truth on everything. And all I kept thinking was like, if I was in this story, I would have done killed all of y'all. I would have told the emperor, I don't want to fucking be here. Why'd you bring me into the palace? Why'd you put my life in danger? They were perfectly safe in that abandoned palace, being abused by the servants and their own mother. They were safer there than they were in the palace. And he still brings them there, locks them up basically, won't allow them to go outside, and then pretends that he cares. Doesn't bother to ask for their opinion on anything. I'm what? Just what? Because I don't understand that. He's not even trying to get to know the twins. He's trying to get them to call him dad or father. No. The only thing he ever gave them was their names. That's it. As far as the twins are concerned, he's not their dad. Now, both twins are different. They look the exact same, don't get me wrong. One's male, one's female. The male is older, and he has more of the imperial bloodline in him than his sister. His sister inherited more from their mother, who was of, I believe they call them Hebes. Basically, these cursed snake people. Um, I'm rereading it, and I haven't gotten to that part yet. So both twins are look the same and have a lot of the same interests, but they do differ. The boy Arhen has more of the imperial bloodline, which means he is more in tune with their guardian and is more interested in guardians and swordsmanship. The sister, on the other hand, doesn't have that connection and is better at reading people. Um, Not perfectly. She has a different set of skills, which they really haven't touched on yet. Oh, my contacts are irritating me. Um, it's a good story, don't get me wrong, but it just pisses me off. If you start reading it, the twins have blonde hair and it looks like reddish eyes on the cover, and then they have the emperor in the back with blonde hair holding a teacup with green eyes. Uh, the twins knew life or something along those lines. Um, as much as I like that story, I've dropped it plenty of times because it just kept pissing me off. I would have asked the emperor for money and just stayed in that abandoned palace with someone who would actually take care of them. There is the head maid in the imperial palace that they trust, and that's only because she tells them straight to their face the truth. Everyone else just keeps withholding it. So they trust her, they trust her knowledge and all that crap. I use dry shampoo, but I'm slowly realizing dry shampoo ain't squat. Just gonna say that now. It doesn't do squat for my hair. So when I take a shower, I'm gonna have to shampoo twice just to get this crap out. I I understand that a lot of people like dry shampoo because it saves them trouble, but it doesn't work for thick hair. Not as thick as mine. People are always like, "Well, I have thick hair. Do you? Do you?" Because I had mine professionally layered and thinned, and it's still thick as fuck. Um, every time summer comes around, I live in Florida, so I have to get my hair cut extremely short, or I have to get it layered and thinned. Otherwise, I'm screwed and I'm sweating half to death. Well, this year, I just got it thinned just a tad bit and layered, which is kind of obvious by all the mess. I separated my hair into sections, and my mother went through and chopped it in different lengths and stuff like that to thin it out for me and to layer it. We went through layer after layer after layer after layer after layer after layer after layer. Just kept going. My mom's hands got so tired that she couldn't continue, so I took over the rest of it. It's still too thick, so I have to keep putting my hair up because it's too hot. Doesn't help with the rest of me though because I'm still sweating like a pig. But my hair just oils up a day after washing it. Spring, winter, fall, I can go nearly a week without washing my hair once, and it'll still look like I had just washed it. In summer, however, might as well be taking a damn shower every day just to keep my hair nice. I don't because that's too much shampoo and that's too much conditioner to get through all this hair. My mom was collecting the hair that she was cutting off and piling it up on the side of the sink to see how much hair we went through. And she looked at it and she wrapped it up in her hand. It was about that much. Just little chunks of it. And she pulled it all together and it was that thick. And she was like, "Does your hair feel lighter?" And I was like, "Oh, it feels lighter." I was like, still hot as hell. And she was like, well, we cut half of your hair. I was like, oh, honey, that's not half. Um, I had literally just pulled out 2 layers for her to chop through, and that was that. And she was like, that's half your hair. I was like, no, that's just 2 layers there. I was like, we've got the whole top of the head to go. So she sets it back down and starts adding more to the pile as I'm separating it so she can do that. It's hilarious. But unfortunately, I think I'm still going to have to cut it pretty short. I don't want to. I want to grow it long, but unfortunately, shampoo and conditioner have gone up in price, and it's just not worth having long hair if I'm going through so much shampoo and conditioner just to keep it clean. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's not worth it. So, I just keep cutting it. My hair's too thick that I get like a whole handful of soap and then work it through my hair. Never enough. Never enough. I end up having to section out my hair just to wash it, which is irritating. I separate it into 3 sections, do the bottom section, then the middle section, then the top section. That's the only way I can get every strand of my hair clean. I never wash the ends because the shampoo is just going to wash out through it anyway and clean it. But I am also reading another story that I have read before, but I got to the last chapter and just haven't been able to find it again. It's called I Became the Ugly Lady. I am now on chapter 64. It's supposed to be a romance, but I'm not seeing any romance. And I'm wondering who the romance between her will be because there are a lot of handsome men around her and not so handsome men around her. And so far, the only one I'm really liking is the guild master that she keeps going to talk to, who's got red hair and he's got a scar across his nose. Dude is fine. Um, fine. There are some other attractive males. One of them happens to be a demon that you only see through her memories. You never actually get to meet him, at least not yet. Um, she also has a spirit who's pretty good looking if he's in his human form. Um, don't get me wrong, he's hot as a spirit too, but that's just too much blonde for me. Um, I much prefer the darker hair, and I don't know why they call her an ugly lady. Even when she was overweight, she still didn't look that bad. I mean, face wise, she's stunning. Um, neglectful father, of course, basically put her into an unhealthy body because no one was sitting there protecting her while everyone was ridiculing her. Instead, everyone's praising all of her siblings and taunting her and basically ostracizing her. It's pretty sad. La, la, la. There are several other stories that I had started reading. Please Don't Come to the Villainous' stationery store. I started reading this one La, la, la. My mouse would work. I believe it was Saturday or Sunday. Um, there were only a few chapters. Oh, please don't come to the Bonus Stationery Store. I had to have saved it. Where? Carrier Falcon Princess is really good. Unfortunately, it's only got 43 chapters right now. So good. Um, I'll already have it open. I'm on chapter 6. Have the damn thing open in another. Okay, I swear. I know what I'm doing, I swear. Anyway, I have like a million tabs open and I can only see the beginning like 2 or 3 of the beginning letters. So I'm pretty sure I've got copies in it. I'll start reading some of them, and if I find them somewhat interesting but not what I'm in the mood for, I'll favorite them and they'll go into my bookmarks, and then I'll get rid of the tabs and kind of just whittle my way down. This is the first time I've had so many opened in like a year. I usually find one, start reading it, and then once I reach the end of it, save it if there's going to be more updates, or I think it's the perfect ending and they're just going to ruin it. If I can't predict the outcome of the story, I love it that much more. A lot of these just have some obvious issues, especially with the isekais or um, rebirths, transmigrations, stuff like that. A lot of them have the same issues that tick me off. Oh, I don't want to change this story too much. I just don't want to die. Without realizing that because they're acting differently, there's a whole fucking butterfly effect going on. Things are changing. It's gonna fucking happen regardless. They're just like so stupid. And I saw one on, I saw a video on TikTok that was just like, why would you want to go back to your life? Blah blah blah. Um, when you're in a magical world and stuff like that, why wouldn't you? I'm sorry. Have you not heard of the internal struggles of the Imperial Palace? People getting assassinated constantly because of their wealth. Bad guys constantly trying to seduce you to get to your money, and then they'll kill you afterwards and marry who they actually want after they take over your family. Magic isn't all it's cracked up to be, depending on where you're at. Some of them rely heavily on spirits. That's magic. Um, some of them you have to imagine it. Now, if you if I end up in a world where I can imagine the type of magic I want to use and don't have to recite spells, good, because that I can handle. Now, if it's having to do calculations like math and predicting where your enemy is going to be, which one of these stories does that, I would not fare very well at all. Um, Not only that, if they didn't have functional toilets, would not be able to handle it. I need functional toilets. Um, Chances are, if I ended up in a different world and I couldn't use magic, I would end up writing or training in swordsmanship and horseback riding because that just seems like so much fun. I've always wanted to learn to ride a horse, just never had the opportunity. Um, I've sitting on the back of a horse before. It was terrifying and so exciting all at the same time. Um, then there's food. I would have to be in a world with good food. Otherwise, I'd be pissed. I would literally starve. I don't need the internet. Don't need my phone. I barely use them as is. The only reason I use my laptop constantly is to read my boredom away. More than half the time, if it wasn't as bright as it is today, I would probably be outside. But because I burn to a crisp the second I step out into the sun like a frickin' vampire, can't do it. Um, I much prefer cold weather. Uh, if I was born into a family that didn't know me at all, like let's say I become the character from I Became an Ugly Lady. The main character's name is Sylvia. Let's say I became her. After talking to the Duke the first time, I would have packed some shit and left the house. That would have been that. Packed all the dresses, the jewels, left. And just before leaving, I would tell the Duke, take me off your family register. You've never been a father. Don't need you. And left. Simple as that. She had other options. With how wealthy they are, selling most of those dresses and the jewels, she could have easily bought a place of her own and done whatever the hell she wanted. Why she continued to stay there and deal with that crap makes no sense to me because now they're all trying to crawl up her ass. Um, I would have just left, been done. I would much prefer to be in Ooh, that's a complicated one. I can't really think of the name of it right now. That's driving me insane. The Twin Siblings New Life, that was the name of that one. Um, Not what I'm talking about, though. There was one of these that I was reading that just, they had free flowing magic. Um, as long as they could imagine it, they could do it. Um, they could also materialize things. Um, if they have the ingredients in front of them, like if they wanted hamburger meat, if they had a cow, um, stuff like that. If you wanted something, you had to have that thing in front of you, and it wouldn't kill it or slice it up in front of you. It just kind of automatically does it, like an inventory crafting type thing. And storage, as long as it had spatial storage, I would absolutely love it. One of the ones that I wanted to try living in was the world of Tales of Demons and Gods, because that just seemed like the closest thing to Naruto without actually being Naruto. That just seems like so much fun to me. Now, the beast hordes and the monsters, not so much. But the world itself is just stunning. And it's not overpopulated with humans because the beast horde has basically wiped out existence. Now, the people in this world are stupid. Um, if I got thrown into this world, I would immediately go to Glory City and find Nali and be his friend. Immediately. Um, then I would go on a trip. The humans in this world, especially in Glory City or other places that have survived with human population, they believe that they're the only ones that exist. Glory City believes it is the only population left to existence. So all the humans in Glory City, that's it. Very few of them know of the demons from the underworld or the Dark Guild. There is, I believe he said it was like a week's journey with him going by foot, but if you go by carriage and you have to travel a long way and you have to go the safe route, it takes about a month to get to Glory City or a month away from Glory City. There is a basically this gigantic rock with people living on top of it, and they believe again that they're the only people left in the world. And of course, Nolly goes and is like, "You guys need to get out of here. You need food," and tells them the way to Glory City, and of course they go. I would love to be in that world. I'm just going to say that now. I don't care if I don't have like high power levels, but I love the way that they do their power. I also like anything that has to do with cultivation. So the way they do it and the way that some of these other martial arts series do cultivation, I absolutely love it. My mouse keeps turning rainbow every time I hit it, which is just hilarious. I love this mouse. I stopped using it for a while because it kept noising in my ear like it was disconnecting and reconnecting, disconnecting and reconnecting. I finally got it to a point to where it won't do that anymore, but it's basically just sitting there looking pretty. Yeah, she's a beaut. I love her. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go because I need to eat. I haven't eaten all day and I woke up at 6. I took a quick nap, woke up at 9. I am hungry, so I'm gonna go and find something to eat. I've also got to separate my hamburger meat before it goes bad. How long has it been? 3 days since I went shopping, so yeah, it's about time. Um, I'm also thinking of making a potato salad, but I only have so many potatoes left, and I wanted to save it for a country boil, but I kind of lost my appetite for the low country boil after I left the soup sitting too long in the rice cooker. So, ugh, never doing that again. I also got to figure out what to do with my sausage now, too. I have plenty of cheese to make another of those dishes. So I'll probably do that too. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time of the day it is for you. And I'll update you as soon as I get any information on what's going on, whether it's just with me or my grandmother, my mother. It's going to be quite a while. So I'll see you guys later, and I hope you all stay well.